Today is World Health Day, and it is a global health awareness day celebrated every year on 7th April under the sponsorship of the World Health Organization, as well as other related organizations. In 1948, the WHO held the first World Health Assembly, which decided to celebrate 7th April of each year with effect from 1950 as the World Health Day. The day is held to mark WHO's founding and is seen as an opportunity by the organization to draw worldwide attention to a subject of major global health each year. And joining me now to speak about this day is clinical pathologist Olayemi Daudu. Good to have you join us.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's good to be here.
So I really want us to draw in or draw from today's the theme rather for this year, which focuses on our health. I mean, I think it's our planet, our health, or our health, our planet, but really has to do with planet and health. And then really talking about climate change. We understand that right now there are a lot of climate-related diseases, and the climate change is also now exacerbating some disorders. Talk to us about some of these issues.
Thank you very much for the question. So the theme for the year is our planet, our health. And I think it's a very topical and a well-chosen theme for 2022, because we know that climate change is a very huge topic right now. And it is not far-fetched that there are attendant problems that come from the climate changes that we're seeing, such as increase in the core temperature of the earth, floods, and all the other things that we see: pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and food pollution. These things go ahead to affect our health inherently. I mean, if we take, for example, looking at floods, it causes displacements too, and the development of organisms that potentiate diarrheal diseases and all that. And even the changes they cause in terms of migration leads to overcrowding and pushing forward of the diseases that you can get in that realm. If you look at air pollution, which is actually even the bigger one, we generate our energy from burning fossil fuels. And so even where it doesn't look as if we have air pollution, a lot of us are operating, I mean, the population of the world, 90% of us have polluted air that we're taking in, and this leads to diseases like asthma. You can have cardiac diseases developing from that, and even cancer of the lungs and all that. So those are some of the diseases that are associated with climate change. You have the use of pesticides in planting of food, which gets into the food chain, and the body is not able to actually have enzymes to digest some of these materials that we ingest. Those things in themselves to lead to damage of our genetic material, DNA, that results in cancer. So kind of those are some of the few ones. And then the bigger one is our plastic pollution, pure water, PET bottles, and the orientation in the society where people are not used to reusing the bottles that may be plastic. You can't do that with pure water. But all these things at the end of the day go into the oceans. They pollute the fish that we fish to eat, and also contribute to the cancers that we're seeing as well. I think it's very important to begin to then look at how we can start working on policies to recycle, and for the government and some of the states to come up with a good waste management system that incorporates recycling. That would go a long way as well in reducing especially the plastic footprint.
And I want to get to government policies shortly, but let's speak about individuals, because right now it sort of seems like we all tend to focus more on profit than on our well-being. Everyone seems to be pursuing money. It's really about how do I make the money that can sustain me for tomorrow, but nobody really cares what happens to our health in the process of doing that. And we're exposed to issues around air quality, issues around just issues around car usage, which also is, I understand, is also now affecting air quality. How we dispose our waste and all of that is also affecting our lifestyle. What sort of lifestyle changes do you think that we should begin to make because of these issues surrounding us? That's also as a result of the climate change.
So thank you. So certainly there's also personal and individual choices and responsibilities that we have in reducing that. Like I spoke about in terms of falling away from using things like plastic, or even if you do, reusing them. You know, you have this policy in westernized countries where you have maybe paper bags instead of nylon bags when you buy things. Those are things at the individual level, or having a bag that you take to the market all the time instead of, you know, just disposing or discarding your nylon bags anywhere. That's an individual choice. Another thing is corporates to have a big role to play. Now, when we're talking about corporate governance, we talk about the environment, society, and governance. And there's a big role in terms of how we generate our energy. We have a responsibility as well to the society in terms of looking at other renewable sources of energy, you know, in providing the energy that we use to run our businesses and even our homes, that will reduce the carbon footprint and not also contribute to the air pollution or reduction in the quality of air that we're all breathing. So those are part of the individual choices that we can make as well.
And that's a tough one, because we live in a time where everyone basically depends on generators for electricity, especially for us as a country. But let's talk about regular health checks. I don't think that we have that culture in this part of the world. Again, maybe just because of how expensive healthcare is here in the country. But how often should people do health checks, and what should we be watching out for because of these changes we're experiencing?
So at least I believe you should have a health check every 6 months. If it's going to be, I mean, the least I would say is probably once a year, but every 6 months is good, because if anything is going to come up or go amiss, at least if you're having a health check every 6 months, you're able to catch it early detection. And so you must not stint. I always say usually you should use things like your milestones, so like your birthday, as your benchmark of when you should run your annual wellness, in terms of doing all your x-rays, your blood work, checking out for anything that may have gone amiss, checking for tumor markers, and if there's development or deviation from anything that was in your last health checkup. But you are correct. A lot of people do not have that habit or the culture of, you know, just generally going into a healthcare facility and having a do-over or look over, unless they have symptoms or a problem has actually resulted from neglect. But I believe that it goes a long way when you have a frequent checkup done. You're able to pick up things early, so there's early intervention of whatever condition may have occurred.
And as I say about every disease, early detection is a key to, you know, survival. And so we all have to get our health checked regularly. Thank you so much for your thoughts on this issue, clinical pathologist Olayemi Daudu.
Thank you very much.